A Pike man is charged with manslaughter following an overdose death. And a change in the law cracks down on those who repeatedly violate protective orders. I'm Nick Collum, and this is the Mountaintop Daily. A Pike County man has been indicted on a manslaughter charge following an overdose death back in March. Jimmy Gage Adkins, 28, of Robinson Creek, was indicted by a Pike County grand jury on June 20th and arrested on Monday. He is charged with second-degree manslaughter and first-degree persistent felony offender for allegedly giving fentanyl to 39-year-old Christopher Chivers of Norton, Virginia, which resulted in his death. Adkins has had 5 felony convictions in Pike County from 2019 to 2023. Second-degree manslaughter typically results in a sentence of 5 to 10 years in prison, but the persistent felony offender charge could enhance that to 10 to 20 years. Adkins is currently being held in the Pike County Jail on a $250,000 cash bond. A new law is now in effect in Kentucky that could have more serious consequences for those who repeatedly violate protective orders. Sheldon sat down with the Pike County Commonwealth's attorney to find out what effect the new law will have.
A new state law is tightening emergency protective orders with stipulations that would make violations felony offenses. With some alarming statistics in Pike County, this new law could come into effect more often.
In looking at this, it's been shocking to me to see how many domestic violence petitions are filed. For instance, here in Pike County, we'll have between 25 and 30 a week. Now, all those don't end up resulting in a domestic violence order, but you have that many petitions, that many people that are asking for protection. From what I've seen, Kentucky is like maybe the second worst in the nation for domestic violence orders. I'm not sure how that's calculated by population or what, but there is an extremely high number of it.
House Bill 38 says if EPOs are violated 3 times within 5 years, it is then raised to a Class D felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison.
There's numerous ways of violating it. You know, you'll have no contact, you can't possess a handgun or a gun at all. So at that point, when it's issued, it's a civil. When you violate it, it becomes criminal.
The state of Kentucky is second in the nation in domestic violence cases. However, there are conditions that have to be met before a Class D felony is charged.
So what they did is, if it's the third offense of a domestic violence order, it doesn't have to be the same victim in a 5-year period. It can become a felony, but it only becomes a felony if there's a threat of physical force, or there is physical force, or the threat of physical injury. So if you have 2 violations, if it's for the no contact, and then the third one is a use of physical force or the threat of use of physical force, then it becomes a Class D felony.
Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Sheldon Compton.
Coming up after the break. A memorial service was held last night, 3 years after the slaying of 3 officers and a police dog. We'll take you there when the Mountaintop Daily continues, but first, sports and weather.
With this Mountaintop Sports Report for Tuesday, I'm Brittany Rowe reporting. Johnson Central offensive lineman Isaac Atkins has received an offer to continue his academic and football career at Kentucky Christian University. Atkins was part of a line that helped the Golden Eagles rush for 5,051 yards and 68 touchdowns last season. Pikeville High School will celebrate 100 years of football this season as the Panthers kick off against Cal on August 22nd. For the latest area high school and college sports news, remember to check us out at mountain-topsports.com or like and follow us on Facebook, X, and TikTok. Reporting for Mountaintop Sports, I'm Brittany Rowe. Have a great Tuesday, sports fans.
the government took Social Security away from honest Eastern Kentuckians, Attorney Ned Pillersdorf got the hearings declared unconstitutional. When the women guards were harassed at Little Sandy Jail, Ned fought back, securing a $1 million verdict at trial. And when the state tried to shut down Cordia School, Ned fought back and kept the school open. Attorney Ned Pillersdorf fights for the underdog, and he's ready to fight for you.
It's Christmas in July at Appalachian Wireless, where the gifts come early and the savings are huge. Get an iPhone 14 for just a penny with eligible trade-in and plan, or unwrap a free iPad, Samsung S25, or iPhone 16 on us with qualifying Advantage plans. How about $75 off prepaid phones? But don't wait. These holiday deals in July won't last for long. Visit AppalachianWireless.com or visit us in one of our many retail locations where Christmas in July is happening now. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
Yesterday marked the 3rd anniversary of the murder of 3 police officers and a canine unit during the armed standoff in Allen. Yesterday evening, local officials and law enforcement agencies joined the families of the fallen to pay tribute to their sacrifice. I went to the ceremony and spoke with the Prestonsburg police chief afterwards.
3 years after the tragedy that was the Allen shooting, officers from KSP, Floyd County Sheriff's Office, and Prestonsburg Police, as well as city officials and family of the fallen officers, gathered for a memorial dedication in downtown Prestonsburg. A new set of wreaths were also hung up on the Heroes Bridge to commemorate their sacrifice. Prestonsburg Police Chief Ross Shurtleff tells us what that day means to the city.
I've got the critical incidents I've been involved in. Everybody that works for me with any time on has got critical incidents that they've been involved in. But you got to think Allen is the most deadly law enforcement encounter in Kentucky in the 19th or 20th century. And to know that and to go into that and not cower and to not bend, not the least little bit, but to run towards that danger, to watch that happen, to be a part of that, to know what bravery really is, and on the flip side, to know what cowardice is. It's a powerful thing to learn. To watch someone willingly lay down their life in service to their brother, in service to their community.
Though the incident was resolved, the casualties suffered across multiple departments won't soon be forgotten. Shurtleff says it gives them more to think about and appreciate.
You know, we're a small agency, 20 sworn, and we become more like family than coworkers. And that is why they are special, is because they were almost patriarchs of that family, beyond Prestonsburg, but in Floyd County in general. It is a lesson and a weight that is almost unfathomable, and it changes the way you do the job. It makes you pay closer attention. It makes you remember. It makes you appreciate your time more. It makes you appreciate the time you've got with your family more, and on days like today, to slow down and remember that. It's an important thing.
That will do it for this edition of the Mountaintop Daily. Be sure to check us out at 6 p.m. every weekday on Mountaintop TV, the Mountaintop TV app, and the Mountaintop News Facebook page. With your Mountaintop Daily, I'm Nick Collum for Mountaintop News.